Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another set of modded ground weapons. Now these, if you haven't seen them already, are called the Vortex Tactical Animated Weaponcore hand weapons, which are, well, all of these glorious things that I'm currently holding. So this is a large array of weapons that feature a couple of pistols, a couple of automated guns, an SMG, an assault rifle. We then got a sniper rifle, a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, all to blast your enemies with. They all utilize Weaponcore and they have been perfectly balanced for gameplay to ensure that they're not too overpowered and will fit the vanilla game perfectly. So what we're going to do is go through each of the weapons added, which are all of these right here. Then we're going to go and test them out against some AI spawned enemies which can wield these weapons by default if you are using the AiEnabled mod. And we'll see how strong they are and what they can do. So closing this off and pressing number 1, we're going to start with the pistols. This one is called the S10 pistol. This is your bog standard pistol, where it is, well, better than nothing. If my character was to aim up just a little bit and we were to move the camera slightly around, then hiding all of this, pressing mouse click, we then get a charge up and then a singular shot. That's all it is, looking at it like so. There we go. And then if we look at the reload animation, because these do have handcrafted, high quality animations, which are both tied to the reload and of course the firing mechanic on certain guns. So here we go, pressing R. Now just go and reload it. Move the character away and just do that one more time. There we go. We just changed the magazine, and now we're back to going. Bring up the HUD once again and switching over to this one. This is the S20A pistol, which is a burst fire pistol, which is much more effective than the one we just saw, because there's no charge up time. Instead, what we get, just a short little burst. There we go. If we were to move all the way up to this and get a bit closer, we can see that when we fire it, the back section will then open up as we shoot it. And of course we've got the same reload animation, but this time we've got some smoke coming out the top as we vent out all the hot air. Then the front part will slide forwards to make it look all fancy. We'll do that one more time. There we go, that lifts up, it vents out, and now it goes back down. Bring up the HUD once again and moving over to this. This is my favourite one out of all of these. This is the S10E pistol, which is, well, a shotgun pistol. We have to move away and then fire it. There we go, it's just a scattered shot from the pistol, rapidly coming out, and it just annihilates basically everything, as long as you're not too far away, then the spread just makes you miss the target. We're going to move over to this one. This is your SMG, the MA50A rifle, where, well, it's exactly what I just said. Just a rapid fire pistol that burns through ammunition like no tomorrow, and we once again get a custom animation where we've got smoke shooting out of it, and we can just go and fire it again. If we were to reload it, there we go, remove the drum mag at the front, put it back, and now we're ready to go again. And I did miss out the reload animation on this one, so coming back to it, firing it. There we go, we see that section spinning around, it just opens up front, we reload it, and then it's back. Doing it again. There we go, very quick. Anyway, yes, back over to this one, we just fire it. Very good. Now there is something odd with these that sometimes happens, sometimes does not, but if you were to keep firing it like I am right now, the machine guns seem to go into an overheat stage. I'm not actually sure whether this is a bug or not, but as you can see, the rate of fire has now completely crippled itself and was shooting like a semi-automatic. If we were to fire it one more time, super fast, let them reload. So let's do that again, super fast firing, then all of a sudden, it's now slow firing until we reload it. Anyway, moving across over to this is your assault rifle, where this one is basically a standard no recoil gun, where you just shoot it, and once again it does that weird overheat mechanic, where if you fire it for too long, we then go into a much slower rate of fire. We go to reload it, we move the drum mag at the front very, very slowly, and then he takes his sweet time doing this, but he'll eventually put another one back up there, and now we're ready to fire this again. So doing it one more time, there we go, that's all it looks like. And we will go to the first person view later on, because there is a few more things to talk about with his gun before we actually go and shoot enemies. Moving on with the actual showcase itself, over to this one. This is the MR30E, which is just like the one we just saw, but it's a burst fire. So as you can see there, we do a short burst, but it is a lot faster reloading. So when they go through the reload animation, we see he just pulls off the small drum mag, and then just shoves it back very, very quickly, instead of just taking his sweet time. We're just going to do that one more time, firing it. There we go, reloading it, down goes the magazine, and back it goes. Now moving across to this is your sniper rifle, which is the MR8P rifle, where, like the pistol at the very start, this is a charge-up gun, but it has additional functionality thanks to Weaponcore, allowing its scope to be used, allowing it to zoom in and out at some extreme distances. So so hiding HUD and actually firing it. There we go, it's like a small little railgun. We see as it fires at the front here, it chambers like a bolt, then it sort of opens up as it ejects all the heat out. So firing it once, there we go, it now loads up, then that opens up to vent out. Firing again, there we go. If we look at it from this side, there we go, it actually fires the projectile all the way out, which is a nice touch. Many weapon mods don't actually do that. That's always nice to see. We'll do it one more time. There we go. Yes, as for the reload animation, pressing R, here we go, we just remove that canister at the back, put it back, very quick and easy, unlike that machine gun. Then we'll be able to move across over to this. This is your grenade launcher, which is, well, a very impressive weapon with how it's all been designed and animated. So firing it like so, there we go, we even have drop off. We can see it on the scope there, got a special aiming thing to actually precisely shoot our targets. Firing it again, there we go. We can quite rapidly fire this thing, which is very nice to have in an emergency, and it's exceptionally fast when reloading it. So as you can see there, we just pull out the drum mag, put a new one in, it clamps in place, and away it goes. If we were to get a bit closer over to this so we can actually see the moving parts, when we fire it, the front pulls back, then we can see how it chambers the next round. Doing a reload animation, there we go, and there it is. And then moving over to the final one in this pack, this is the PR-01 rocket launcher, which is very much like the vanilla rocket launcher, but like every other weapon, it's now got more animations. So simply firing this straight up into the air, there we go, the back pulls back, this part opens up, and it basically ejects out one of the canisters. And this is a very odd bug which I've noticed with this mod pack, is sometimes the animations can get stuck. The only way to fix this is to reload your game, so don't worry, there's random special effects just shooting out of nowhere. Anyway, come back up to this, looking at it very closely, firing it again, moving the camera slightly down because he does move the gun down as he fires it. Here we go. And there we are, looking at it from the top, which is a very nifty thing. But now what we're going to do is I'm going to properly grab hold of my character because it's time to go through these in a first person view. So this is what the standard pistol looks like. And if we were to shoot this training dummy, there we go, that's what it looks like. Not aiming down the sides. There we go, it's very inaccurate at long ranges. You want to be pretty damn close, and like I said, this is basically a last resort, or your first gun through playthrough. And we're just gonna turn away from that, because that is a little bug, and it's very distracting. But while I got this pistol out, we can do other stuff with these weapons. We can change the projectile colouring, so as you can see here, we've got a little pinky colouring coming out of it. If we were to hold down R, we can then reload it with a different ammo type. Here we go, we now got green, so now the projectile will be green. And you just customize it to whatever you want, which I suppose is very nice if you are having a PvP match against other players, because then you can dedicate a colour to each team, so you can see exactly what shots are coming from where, and which team are doing the shooting. Yes, now we got a red colouring, and so on and so forth. Yes, that is the standard pistol. Moving across over to the burst pistol, aiming down the sights here. There we go. It's a little bit more accurate, but still you want to be pretty damn close to the target when shooting this thing. Now moving across over to my favourite gun, the shotgun pistol, and moving away from there, we've got another animation stuck. We're going to shoot it like so. There we go. It is so meaty and very satisfying to use, using against a training dummy. There we go. And if you're wondering why it's not actually damaging any of the blocks here, that's because the mod creator has made it so these weapons cannot damage large blocks. So if you were using a scenario where you're in a tight corridor, and say you had the grenade launcher out, you're not going to blow up all the walls and potentially ruin the scenario by making shortcuts. But yes, back to this, firing it one more time. There we go. And yes, once again, we can change the colour of the ammunition. Just going to do that. We're now on the green. Moving across over to the SMG, aiming down the sights, and then shooting the gun. As we can see, it is very, very inaccurate, which perfectly suits what this weapon is supposed to be. We're just going to shoot, going to have a spray, it'll be very good for close range targets, but for long range targets, going to be better off with an assault rifle. Just reloading that in first person view, looking down, there we are. Moving across over to this, your assault rifle. Like I said when we were looking at it from the side, there is basically no recoil whatsoever. It does shake a fair bit, we can see it's fairly inaccurate. There we go, there's the overheat mechanic kicking in. Let's reload that in first person view. And there he goes, taking his sweet time. Just goes to put the magazine behind him, pulls out a new one, puts it inside, and now we're ready to go. Shooting the training dummy like this, and then shooting it like that. Moving across over to the burst version, which has a slightly better scope, well, much more precise, and it certainly suits a burst weaponry, because as you can see here, the projectiles basically go where you're aiming at a very long range. Let's say move over to this section and aim behind us. There we are, it's going to be fantastic for long range or even mid-range shooting. You whether shoot it from the hip. There we go. Moving over to this is your sniper rifle, the charged up railgun. We're firing it like so. There we are, I absolutely love that animation effect for how it loads in the next round. Anyway, for the scope itself, because it does use Weaponcore, we now aim down this, then if we're to use the mouse scroll wheel, we can zoom all the way in. If we're to come out of that and actually face towards this mountainside in the distance, this is the sheer zoom, so looking at the snowy mountainside, we can go all the way up to it, to the point that it starts to break the textures. Shooting it from this camera, just looks like a standard projectile coming out of it. Then moving across over to this one, the grenade launcher, and yes, aiming down the sight, we've got those 3 little rings to help aim this thing, and firing it. There we go, we see how the shell sort of gets ejected out the side, but unfortunately I can't go into a free camera mode to actually view this from first person view, so we can shoot this, shoot the ground in front of us, and there you go, as you can see, we're not damaging any blocks. There's reload, and now we're ready to go again. Moving over to the final one, the rocket launcher, and shooting it like this. There we go, can't really see too much from this camera, it looks very much like the vanilla rocket launcher. And there we go with the bugged effect once again, and that one is still going over there. Anyway, aiming down this, we can still zoom in and out if we need to, and then firing it, we get instantly ejected out of the camera as we reload this. And there we go with all the weapons and what they look like. Now it's time to test their damage against some AI-enabled bots, which is what I've got set up over here. So this is the AI-enabled plus the bot spawner mod, where these two here, the fake cryopods, are the bot spawners. They can spawn a large array of modded enemies, such as zombies, robots with guns, and the robots, when they use the guns, can use this mod pack, so do be aware of that if you are, say, using the Robot Raider mod, where usually they get dropped down near your base, and they will be using these modded weapons. Anyway, into here, and finding the control panel, activating both of these, here we go, moving away, and now it's time to talk about the other functionality of this mod. So once they pop in, what we're going to find is when we aim down the sight, we're going to be able to use the middle mouse click to lock onto the target. This is very much like the Weaponcore system for the ship weapons or for the big weapons, where it helps you aim your gun. So as you can see here, here is our enemy. If I was to bring up the HUD and aim at them, we see we've got a little reticle there. Press the middle mouse button, we're now locked onto them. So when they come out of the aim down the sight, we can now precisely aim where we've got to shoot. There we go. So using the sand pistol against the zombie, we see you get 3 shots on there. Moving away from that, there we go. We see how the robot raiders are using the SMG. Now moving away and shooting this once again. There we go. Moving across over to the burst pistol and shooting this very tough robot. It's now dead. Shooting this one once we recharge. There we are. Into third person view and shooting. Should use the over the shoulder mods, so we just come back into this. I suppose we just come over to the shotgun pistol, which is much more effective. Look at this, we're now just going to start blasting them. One shot kills most things, unless they're really tanky, such as the boss mobs. There's that guy, he's now dead. There's that one, he's now dead. Here comes another one, dead. Dead. Very satisfying weapon to use. He looks like he was using a jetpack, you're not allowed to use that. Now he's dead. And there we go. This is why I love this pistol. Very meaty, very chunky. And it looks like they have destroyed my reactor. How annoying. So I'm going to have to repair that up in order to spawn a few more. Back over to tab number 2. Here comes a poison zombie. So we're going to come over to the assault rifle. Start blasting him. Doesn't feel as effective as a shotgun pistol, but at range, but the zoom slightly away. Instead, zoom slightly away. We're going to fly slightly away. There's the enemies there. They're going to start to target my battery. I think they just blew it up. I'm going to start to shoot them. It is very difficult to actually shoot with his gun because it's so inaccurate. So we're going to move across to the burst weapon, target him, and we're just about hitting him. It's much more effective, but what is even more effective at these ranges is of course the railgun. Now shoot this, and there we are. Yes, it's very strong, yes, it's very effective at ranges, but due to the charge up time, it means they can act erratically, move around there, and make it very difficult for you to actually see. Now we come out of that and switch over to the grenade launcher, which during my testing didn't actually kill the enemies. For some odd reason, the rocket launcher, the grenade launcher, does not seem to target the AI-enabled bots. So we're going to try it one more time. There we go, it should spawn any second now. I set the reload time to be very, very quick on that. But it looks like they actually destroyed their spawners, so now we've got to repair them up as well. There we go, there's that one, Should have gave them some space power to stop them from doing it. Now we can just jetpack away and switch over to the grenade launcher. Here we go. There we are, that's much more like it. We're now shooting them. A big chunk of them gets flown away. There goes that robot. He's now just flying away, trying to get over to me. Let's go and aim down the sight and try to hit him. There we go, that's a bad miss from me, but that was a direct hit on him. He's now being destroyed, shooting into that group. And you can see how some of the enemies have different health pools. You were to move over to the rocket launcher and just float up here and shoot down at this guy. In fact, I think they're all dead. They might have just gone and destroyed all this stuff once again. So here we go, repairing all of them up. And that once again. Over to here, finding the rocket launcher, shooting this poor guy. And yes, this is what I found out in my testing. Where the rocket launcher doesn't really want to actually damage anything. But there we go, there goes robots with the assault rifles once again, or even the SMGs. So we're going to try and counter them with our SMG. And well, this poor engineer is taking a lot of hits. Thank God I'm in creative mode, where I'm just immune to all damage. He's trying to grind me, they're trying to poke me with their frosty fingers. And yes, that's pretty much it for this mod has to offer. The only other thing I can think of is, well, to first of all, turn off both of these so they can stop spawning them. And then we can come into a assembler to see how we can make the guns. In fact, I need to come over to here and actually explode them all. And hopefully get rid of as many as I can. Okay, so I dealt with the remaining enemies. Had to pull out the shotgun pistol because it is just so effective compared to all the other weapons, at least in my opinion. And it's time to plop down a assembler to see the ammunition cost. So tap on the one, finding the assembler. Here we go, that one will do, doesn't need to be anything fancy. And we're just going to hop inside this and come over to the projections tab. So coming into here, we can see we've got basically what looks like our standard ammunition for the vanilla game. But here's our 40mm grenade, which does cost a fair bit per grenade. There's our thermal detonator for our missile launcher. Then we've got our pistol ammunitions. And there is the rifle ammunition. There is the SA-50A rifle ammunition. There's the burst fire. There is the 30E. There's the Gatling boxes, which we don't need to worry about. And then we got the small railgun sabbats, which is not for this weapon pack. But yes, as for that, I'm pretty sure I covered everything with these weapons. There is no build cost on there if we were to come into here. So as you can see here, there is absolutely no build cost for these. So I suppose what I'll do is to end this video while I'm doing the ending blurb. We're just going to turn these on once again and start shooting it with this pistol. But yes, they're an absolute fantastic mod pack, absolute incredible animations to them. They sound chunky, they look chunky when you fire them. You've got a nice variety to use in case you don't want to use the shotgun pistol all the time. There's one of the boss robots, so we can still kill him one hit. And they've got lovely sound effects, and should do very well, especially if you are using the AI-enabled mod, where you've got basically enemies that can use these weapons against you, which is going to be a bit unfair, because as you can see, these are exceptionally powerful, and well, could prove a little bit frustrating in some scenarios. But due to the fact they don't damage large blocks, could be very good for a lot of scenarios, especially if you were to say curate these, make sure the enemies can't use them, and they only have these standard weapon configs. But as for that, that's pretty much it for this weapon mod pack. There'll be a link to it in the description below. If you do wish to download it and play around yourself, I highly recommend you do, because it is an absolute fantastic mod. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.